Hey, what is going on, guys? Carter here with Edge Mindset. We've got a banger of a budget-ish, budget type knife coming in from Kubey. This is the Sylow. I'm not the first person to talk about how cool this knife is, and I won't be the last, but I do want to throw my hat into the ring. This one is designed by James Lowe. I've done a little bit of research on him. I can't really see anywhere that he's done kind of his own custom knives. He seems to do a lot of designs for overseas knife manufacturers. In fact, he has a lot of designs out there. A lot of the stuff I didn't realize was actually designed by... I mean, everything is designed by a person, but I mean designed by somebody outside of the manufacturer's house, were actually done by him. And this one is absolutely perfection. Well, not quite. Kind of. I don't know. I've got a little qualms with this. On not any actual complaints, right? Because I know a lot of people, when I mention stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, I'll get into it later, people get mad because I don't cover it right up at the front. Nothing with the design or function, just kind of the materials, namely the steel. We'll talk about it right now. So this has a 14CN. That's just what I call it, 14CN. It's whatever, 14C28N steel on here, which is a budget steel. It's no slouch. It's got good toughness. It's got good corrosion resistance. It's a great steel for a budget knife. You don't usually see it too often on titanium scales, which on one hand, big up to Kubey for offering a knife with titanium premium handles, but then reducing the price with a budget steel. So on one hand, that's really cool that they did that, because typically when you're looking at 14CN steel, it's something like this, right? G10, kind of cheaper handles, and the whole thing is kind of inexpensive. And then when you get into things like milled titanium handles, they bump up the steel, S35, M390, whatever. So it's kind of cool that they're like, you know what, let's offer a budget titanium handled knife. I wish they would have done it on a different knife that I didn't like so much, because I would like to see this in a more premium steel. It'd be cool if they did a more premium version of this, because this thing is fantastic. I am absolutely in love with this. Now, part of the reason might be that I got it on a super Kubey sale at White Mountain Knives with the discount code. Like, after their sale, this was like $99, and then I think I got a bigger discount on it. So like at that price point, this thing is outstanding. But I think retail originally was like $130, which is amazing for a knife like this. And we'll talk about that here in a minute. You've got this nice sheepfoot blade with, I have a sucker for this kind of profile. The thinner handle with the wide blade, just visually, it just appeals to me. I really, really like it. And this one is no exception. You have so many crazy design choices here. You've got a nice high flat grind. Not particularly thin behind the edge, but it is not, it's not going to be a slicing slouch by any means. You've got all of this blade length right here, which is a nice segue to get into some measurements. So you have over 3 inches of cutting edge, like 3¼ Blade length is about 3.5. Overall length is 7¾ or are we looking at 8? I don't know. It's one of those things where it might be, just under 8 inches. Very, very nice. Let's do a weight on this. Let's see what these milled titanium lightened handles get us. 4.7 ounces. Feels about 4.7 ounces. I like that weight. It feels substantial, but not overly cumbersome. Look at this blade. Look at this thing. It is wicked. I love this oversized opening hole right here. It's not obnoxious in my opinion, but it is different and distinct. Everything is nice and chamfered. You've got this crate. Look at all that jimping. This is like a jimper's paradise. You've got your traditional jimping here on this ramp, which is, you are locked in, but then you've also got jimping here if you're doing like pinch grips or, I don't know if this is actually that functional. It does look cool though, and it's kind of got this crazy harpoony type thing going on with the scoop. Absolutely love it. Running on bearings. Let's take a look at the sharpening choil. You're going to get some smiles on this bad boy, I believe. Not too bad. But yeah, you will start to get some smiles after a few sharpening. I don't care about that. I mentioned that because I know other people care about it. Not something I really care about. But yeah, I guess it would be kind of nice if this had a kind of a deeper set sharpening choil. Eventually, you're just going to kind of be running pretty straight off of this here. But, whatever. At this price point, buy 2 of them, and after you sharpen it a few times and it bugs you, just swap it out for the other one. I mean, that's the way I look at it. Deployment, you've got this nice opening hole. You can get down low and flick it open. You can get up high and flick it open. You can use your thumb, maybe, if you're not pressing on the lock bar like I am. Now, I have, full disclosure, I've tuned this with a harder detent than what came out of the box, just because I wanted that snappier action. So yours, assuming yours would be like mine, would have a little bit of a lighter detent. I've kind of really added some weight to it, maybe a little too much, honestly. I may adjust it back again. This one is pretty fickle in terms of like that sweet spot where you can overbend the lock bar or underbend the lock bar. Out of the box, it was a much lighter detent that I think would kind of appeal to more people. It was easier to flick with your thumb than what I have it tuned for right here, just kind of to let you know. You can slow roll this baby. And along those lines, because I've tuned it, I can't really front flip it because I've got that detent a little bit harder. It's difficult for me to front flip it now. Out of the box, I could front flip it with very minimal effort. Now, this is not a front flipper forward type design. You can see how it's kind of low. So it is a little bit trickier than a normal knife would be to front flip. But out of the box with the lighter detent, before I strengthened mine up, it front flipped a lot better than it does now. I love all the blasted hardware on here. It works so good. I'm a sucker for kind of acid stonewash and dark blasting overall. Like, I love this aesthetic. This comes in a bunch of different flavors. There's PVD coated with gold accents and I think satin and all kinds of fun stuff going on with this knife. You can get a bunch of different versions. Lock bar insert, mill titanium pocket clip. I love this style of relief cutting on the lock bar. Whenever they do the multiple channels as opposed to, like kind of like this too. Like, that's kind of a telltale Kubey design right there. I think it looks really good compared to, I don't have an example. Thought I had an example somewhere. Instead of just the big single channel being milled out of there. Looks really nice. Plenty of access into the lock bar there. It's got chamfering on both sides. You've got a little bit of texture on here with the milling pattern. Lightning holes inside the scales to reduce weight. Perfectly centered. The action on this thing is butter. Even with my harder tuned detent, more lock bar pressure, it just falls shut. Now, some of that is because the blade's kind of on the heavier side compared to some knives. But man, this thing is just a treat. It's an absolute treat. One of the negatives, though, is it is wide. But part of the reason I like it is this wide blade. So for me, it's like, well, of course, it's going to be wide in the handle because it has that wide blade. Some people won't really like this. It does have a pretty beefy carry profile, as you can see, based on the Paramilitary 2 here. This is going to take up a little bit more pocket room than, maybe you're used to. But I think that goes without saying when you look at a design like this, that you're going to have something like that going on. The frag pattern, some people don't like frag patterns. I really like frag patterns. Done really well. It's got a good texture on there. Just nice gear pattern that sits proud, looks beautiful. No lanyard hole. Let's get rid of these lanyard holes. Come on, guys. I get throwing it in there just to make everybody happy, but nobody carries lanyards nowadays, and it just messes up the aesthetics. There is the maker's signature right there. We've got the steel. I think that's about it for this guy. That covers everything I wanted to cover. This is an absolute banger. Go to White Mountain Knives. Pick it up on sale if it is still on sale at the time of publishing this video. Otherwise, just grab one. I think you're going to like it. It's a nice user beater knife. You can buy it for gifts and things like that. To give to people, or to throw it in your tackle box, or to carry it as your primary EDC. This is one of those knives, like, I have a lot of expensive, nice knives, and this is a knife that I am throwing in my pocket, and I am carrying around, and I am appreciating. It's that good. All right, guys, comment down below. What do you think of this guy? Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. Take care. I'm out.